Okay, so in this video we're going to get back to the Gorkanaut, and so what I've done here, I reassembled this. This was probably, I realized I probably should not have gone through this much, but I've added the rest of the LEDs here. So starting with these two side pieces, I drilled them out and put the lines in, and then very carefully drilled holes in the side so that I can just wrong side. Slide these into place. They're not going to be glued in yet until I get some soldering done. Okay. And then I added this one to that. And my battery pack, the little battery pack. These are all 3-volt LEDs, so they're all gonna. There's the batteries. Batteries. So these are yellow ones with the slow blink, and this is the LED from the actual UFO that I bought and not used. Yeah, so that's what that one does. So these are just the pink and yellows. So there's going to be a lot of motion that draws the eye, light motion. The red LED and the light LED is going to be static, but these all are going to be moving, which will be very nice. So, and then I've also got, of course, the head here. And the KFF lead. So what we need to do is wire up the main power now. So basically we're going to do a bus or a manifold type wiring. But what I figured to do, since these things are just up here on top, what I'm going to do is run the wire through the bottom here. It's going to go up along here, and I'm going to terminate it in these pieces of metal at the top. I'm going to unsolder these and solder them back onto the main leads. So that and then I'm also going to run wires out through this hole. It's supposed to be like the ammo feed or the power feed, depending on which weapon goes on there. But I'm going to run wires out here to go to the other gun arm, so I can put an LED on that as well. So yeah, and the only one here that's a 2-volt LED is going to be the red one in the head. Everything else is everything else is going to be 3 volts. So I'm going to run the LEDs or the resistor very close to the bottom here, and just run a 3-volt circuit throughout the model, instead of trying to do an individual LED for all the other LEDs, an individual resistor for all the LEDs, which I don't need to do. 100 ohm resistor will be more than enough to feed all of the 3-volt LEDs. I don't need a 150 on the red one. So I need to put some holes in the bottom here. Run and then get 2 lengths of wire, resolder these pads onto that, and we'll get going. And what I'm going to do is just to wire up the individual LEDs, I'm just going to like cut off a little bit of the insulation along the way to go to each individual wire or each individual LED along the main wire. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this, and just a minute. Okay, so first of all, we started with drilling a couple holes in the bottom. I'm going to be using this stuff here. It's actually solid core, because I like solid core wire. So they fit perfectly through here. And once everything's assembled and painted, you won't even really notice it. So what I've done here is I've created my 2 main bus lines. So the idea is that this will be going up the bottom, and it goes all the way to the top of the Gorkanaut. It sits on the magnet on the top, which of course will then be super glued into place after it's stuck on. And then we got this wire going out to the arm, because I want to be able to have the full 4.5 volts go out to the arm, because I don't know what LEDs are going to be on there exactly quite yet. So and we got one for each, positive and negative. And then what we're going to do here is just in various places. So there's, I'm going to go, and then I also tinned up the other wire. So we got all these LEDs all tinned up here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these things on. Can't glue this one on yet because this actually holds the doors on. So So I can't glue this on until I'm ready to get the door, until all the wiring's done and I can glue the doors in place. So I said we need a 100 ohm resistor to power all three of these, and a 150 ohm resistor on the head. So what we're going to do here, we're actually going to remove the lead wire here from the head. Framing this stuff is not easy to do. I'm working on it at the same time. I'm going to grab a 100 ohm resistor here. These are the ones I used in parallel. So I'm just going to grab one of these. I like using these little clamps to hold these things on instead of like a vice grip or something. It works really well. So I'm going to tin the end of these resistor here. I have to do this off camera, sorry, just because of my crappy old man vision. And go ahead and get this soldered into the positive side of the head here. Which I failed to do. Okay, so now that's ready for the... Oh wait, that's the 2 volt. I need 150 ohm on that one. Darn it, not the 100. Okay, so this 100 is going to be used to power everything else instead. Haha. So I need to dig out 150 volt, 150 ohm LED for the head. So, not a 100. But anyway, so far so good. I just have to figure out exactly how I'm going to wire up all these things and make it look halfway decent. That's really where we're at, more than anything. We'll be back. Okay, so this is how we're going to do the midsection connection here. So what we're going to do is just take our wire strippers here, cut out a small piece, or hit it right like that, and about ½ an inch down. We're going to do it again. So that cuts the insulation around the wire. And just take our hobby knife here, slice one side of it, and then it just comes off, exposing a small amount of the wire, which we can then go ahead and tin. And prep for the final installation. And so one of those taps is going to be a 2 volt going to the head, and the other tap is going to be the 3 volt going to the other 3. Let's see what we have here. Make sure we got these things in a decent position here. Can't see much. Keeping this thing all apart is both necessary. Okay, yeah, that's just about perfect. You can't see anything. So if the head's sitting here, it goes that to about like that. Yep, it gives us one tap all the way almost at the bottom. Okay, perfect. So, and then what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to run 3 leads, one from each of these other LEDs to the 100 ohm resistor. Just kind of twist them together and solder them onto the end resistor. So this is going to get soldered on. This is the 100 ohm. Yeah, so what we'll do is that. Let's just go ahead and solder this right to here. And then we'll just take the 3 wires from the other 3 LEDs. Oh wait, this is the negative. Ah, dang. So, we won't do that. So we'll take the 3 wires from the other LEDs, solder them to here, and then we'll put this one on the resistor on the hot wire, not the ground. Yeah. I don't want to mix up my colors. At all. So we'll go ahead and do a lot more wiring. We'll be back in a bit.